Alrighty. Hi guys, sorry a little late. I was dealing with like some technical issues and things of that sort, but here we are. So for today, it's gonna be kind of like my other live streams. I'm gonna do it like you guys can ask me questions, give me discussions to talk about. But I do have a bit of trivia. I have 10 questions, so I guess as the stream goes along, we can do that. So that's just sort of my plan for today. What do you guys want to talk about right now? I know that Funtown Splashtown USA, they're closing. It's pretty, or at least that's what we think's happening. So, Excalibur's at that park. I never got the chance to ride it. So if it closes, that's gonna really suck. It's a ride that I'd wanted to ride and I may never be able to now. And they had a Wild Mouse coaster as well. So yeah. Oh, did you not hear about that? Funtown, Splashtown USA. I think that's what the park's called. Um, but I just know that they had Excalibur, the wooden coaster, and it looked pretty good. And looks like it's gonna be gone. My thoughts on Indiana Beach reopening. I'm actually really happy that's happening. There's a lot of coasters there I wanted to ride: Steel Hog, Cornball Express, and Lost Coaster, of course, are like really high on my bucket list. So that's like pretty awesome that they're able to reopen. You didn't hear about that? I think it was pretty recent. Like had to have been in like the last 2 or 3 days, something like that. Um, should I? I'm just curious. Do you guys? There's not a whole lot of people on here yet, so I may wait for more people to get on here. The only problem is, I think there's a lot of live streams going on, but maybe I'll do the trivia when more people get on here. I think I might start doing that. Um, but yeah, it's crazy the whole Funtown thing. It's pretty unfortunate, but I figured that some parks would close because of this whole situation, and this might be like the first one to go. I mean, Fantasy Island, that's pretty much done from what I know, but it's still unfortunate. Let's see what else we got here. I have like all the news things on here. Um, hmm. Oh, they're still doing the construction, I guess, for the Avengers campus. That's gonna open at California Adventure this year. Oh, where was Funtown? Funtown's in Maine. It's like way up there, up there in the U.S. But Funtown, yeah, it's in Maine, and like I said, they have an Excalibur and then some other Wild Mouse coaster. Do I think IAPA will still happen? I mean, I don't know honestly. Um, we'll see if it'll happen. Actually, I kind of doubt it. It's in Orlando. I wasn't gonna go anyways because it's really far out of the way for me, but it seems pretty unlikely. Why am I ignoring you? You haven't asked anything. I don't see anything. You wish you went to New England every year. Yeah, Six Flags New England. It looks really fun. I've never even been, but it looks pretty awesome. They have Wicked Cyclone, Superman the Ride. That's like a really good top two. Um, oh, because like it's Funtown. I guess it's kind of close to there, I guess. But it's just kind of sad if it actually ends up closing for like ever. That would like really suck. Um, and then Fantasy Island, I guess that's closing, or well, it already closed, but like we know that it's gonna close down like for sure. And I think the rumor was it was gonna become like some sort of Amazon like building or which is pretty sad, but that's just kind of what happens. When do I think the parks will reopen? I have no clue. My guess right now, maybe mid. I'm looking at maybe. Actually, I think some states it'll be different because I know some states are opening up again. I think for some states we could actually see it as soon as June. Do I think it's a smart idea? I don't know really right now. It's hard to say. Um, but I think we could see some parks open in June. For different states, it'll probably vary. But I think June, July seems like what's going to happen. I don't know if that's exactly the right decision, but that's what I think will happen. Maybe not, maybe I'm wrong, but that's just my guess for right now. May depend on like some of these states, like with their businesses reopening. That might be a big factor. in when they decide to reopen the parks. Yeah, because Matthew, I know you're supposed to go to Cedar Point in June. I don't know if that'll happen. I hope that the situation gets a lot better and you do, but where did I get the news? I'm on Ace's website and I don't see anything. I don't know exactly. It might have been on Screamscape. Might have been. I feel like I saw it on a bunch of things about it on Instagram. Um, but I'm not exactly sure exactly where I got it, but you hope you can try to go to Cedar Point in July. Well, at least you're flexible because if that happened to me last year, there would have been like no way I could have rescheduled it for like July or August or something like that. I would have had to have gone like in June. Well, it is their 150th anniversary. They're supposed to add their new coaster next year. I mean, the anniversary, that's not really going to change whether they're going to like open sooner or not. This situation is pretty difficult for parks to open. But Cedar Point, I like next year they're supposed to get their new coaster. I don't know if that'll happen because Cedar Fair they cut like half of their capital budget and for their projects next year. Although half of it, so there's still like a pretty significant amount. So in Cedar Point, I don't think they're doing that much for new additions this year. Like it's a lot, but not like compared to like Orion or something like that. So my guess is they'll still get their new coaster and they'll probably just they might have to push some of their 150th anniversary stuff to next year because I know it was like going to be like a multi-year sort of thing. So it just might kind of mostly get pushed to next year because of this whole situation. New coaster next year. Maybe if I can't go this year, it wouldn't be bad to go next year. It's not for certain, but that's just my guess. As to, I have absolutely no clue what they would get next year, but I think they'll get something next year because they were supposed to. Of course, that could have changed by now. But at least as far as I know, yeah, we really don't know. It's hard to say, like with this whole situation. And who knows, Cedar Point could have changed their plans like even before because I know they're like having more additions are going to be spread out. Um, I guess for coasters because they want to focus more on families and I think more on entertainment was what they said. But yeah. Okay, now we got more people coming in. Hi, Theme Park Magic. Uh, yeah, so I was just talking about Cedar Point and like when parks were gonna reopen and things of that sort. And then I also mentioned Funtown earlier, which if you didn't know, it looks like they're closed at least for this year and they may be closing forever. This park has a wooden CCI coaster called Excalibur, so if it closes, it'll probably close along with it, which is really sad, but that's just kind of what it is for right now. Um, Also, like I know some of the construction has stopped for some places. Some I think it's still keeping going. So it's just kind of crazy, like this whole situation. Water parks. What do you think will happen? I have no clue. For water parks, it's hard to say. Well, actually, I don't think they'll reopen as quickly as theme parks and amusement parks. It just feels, I don't know. I just, they're probably going to be closed for the rest of this year. Is going to be my guess. Uh, just something about it doesn't seem like for rides, you can wipe down the seats every cycle and whatnot, but for water slides and like it just I don't know exactly what you do about that. It's just kind of its own like weird thing, I guess. Um, I guess I can start with the trivia right now. I haven't done this before, so just tell me if you guys like it, like some improvements you may want to see, and if you want to see in the future. So I'm going to begin my trivia, and my first question is, what was the name of the first roller coaster to close at Kings Island? The first roller coaster to close at Kings Island, what was it named? And also extra points if you can actually guess what year it closed. Bavarian Beetle, yep, that's correct. Yep, there we go. Son of Beast, not quite. Actually, that was way later, obviously. But yeah, Bavarian Beetle. That was the first coaster to ever close at Kings Island. And actually, I need to go on here to, let's see. It was a Zyklon from SDC, it says on here. And it originally opened at Coney Island, so that's pretty interesting. Alrighty. I guess I'll do a few questions here and there throughout the stream, or what do you, actually, I'm gonna ask you guys, would you rather me get the questions, like, do all of them at one time, or just kind of split it up throughout the stream? Because like I said, I haven't done this before. You can see Bavarian Beetle in the Brady Bunch episode. Interesting, didn't know about that. That's pretty cool, actually. You want me to do all of them right now? All right. Oh, wait, you want to spread them out? I think I'll do the second one, and then we can talk about other things. Yeah, well, I think I'm going to split it up. I'll do my second question, and then we'll go back to talking about other things. I think that's going to kind of be how I handle it. So my second question is, when and where did Wild One at Six Flags America first open? So if you need me to repeat that question, when and where did Wild One at Six Flags America, that's the wooden coaster, first open? So whoever gets that, that's Gallops Grove. Not quite, but what year? Massachusetts. I think you have the state right. But as for the year in the park, no one's gotten it yet. Yes, it was open. It did originally open in Massachusetts, 1917. That's the correct year, and yes, it was called Giant Coaster. Oh, hi, Coaster Daddy. Okay, we got a good amount of people going on here now. That's good to see. But what park was it at? Does anyone know the name of the park it was at that opened? Someone said Gallops Grove. Maybe it went under that name at one point. Oh wait, no, never mind. It did not. Nope, that is not it. Okay. I thought maybe Paragon Park. That's it. Yep, Coaster Mania got it. No, Gallops Grove. I just looked at it. That's actually, so Six Flags New England apparently used to be called that from 1870 to 1886, which that's kind of crazy, but that's at least what I found about Gallops Grove. Yeah, Paragon's right. Yep, that's the right park, and it was in 1917, which was also guessed earlier by Matthew. So now we can go back to talking about like other things. Yeah, that's gonna be kind of how the trivia goes for tonight. Let's see. I have like a thing I'm kind of looking at for right now. Actually, there was a coaster event. CoasterCon got canceled, right? Oh, what's this? SNS Free Spin coming to King's Dominion. I don't know exactly what's the latest news, the latest information on that. Oh wait, actually, wait, yes. So that's supposed to be coming in either 2021 or 2022, right? Well, I'm pretty sure it won't open next year if it was supposed to. Probably will get pushed back to 2022. I don't know exactly if that wing coaster that was leaked or whatever is still gonna happen like afterwards, or like that got or that plane got scrapped. I don't know. Hollywood Nights was supposed to be 2 days ago, wasn't it? Really? No, I don't think so. No, I think it's supposed to be toward the end of this month, right? I've never been, so I wouldn't know, but I think Hollywood Nights is usually toward the end of May. Maybe. Let's see. You were a whole decade off. Wild One first opened in 1917 at Paragon Park. Yeah, it's a giant coaster. Yeah, so someone already guessed that. Kind of crazy though, actually, that it's that old. Wild One used to have buzz bars. Does it not anymore? I haven't ridden it, so I wouldn't know. That's kind of sad. Does it have like the? I don't know what it would have right now, but buzz bars are pretty good. So the normal PTC restraints. I mean, that's not. Yeah, that's definitely not as good as the buzz bars. Actually, the Six Flags situation right now, I don't really know exactly. Some people are like, oh, they're gonna go bankrupt. Other people are like, they're not. I have no clue. They're not really in the best situation, but I think they have until like 2024 or 2025 to turn around, because I guess that's when like a lot of their debts are due, at least from what I have heard. So I don't know how exactly this is all gonna work, but hopefully they'll be fine. I don't think they're gonna. I don't know. They may go bankrupt, but I think it's actually more likely they don't. If Six Flags goes bankrupt, I could see SeaWorld buying several of the parks. I don't think SeaWorld's in a good situation right now, to be completely honest. When I went to Six Flags America, Wild One was the only coaster I really wanted to ride, and it was closed all day. That sucks. Honestly, that's probably, well, I haven't ridden any of the Ride of Steel or Superman Ride of Steel clones, so, well, there's only two of them, I guess. But that would probably be my second most anticipated coaster at Six Flags America. Do you think SeaWorld or Six Flags is in a worse situation right now? I don't think there's a whole lot of information on SeaWorld, so it's hard to say. I really don't know. It's like pretty much impossible to tell. Um, Wild One is never down, is almost never down. Yeah, I would figure, I mean, probably maintenance was probably why. Like, it is an older coaster, they gotta probably keep up the maintenance, but who would buy Six Flags if they go bankrupt? Um, okay, so I don't think, even if Six Flags goes bankrupt, which they already have in the past, I don't think they're gonna like go away completely. Like some people think that's gonna happen. I cannot see that happening. And if like, I cannot. I think maybe you would see, if in the case that did happen, maybe some of the parks would go independent if someone in the community or in the city, like maybe for like some of the smaller ones, would like buy it out, kind of like what happened with Indiana Beach. If like the Six Flags parks, uh, Ed Hart, probably not him, probably like other people, because Indiana Beach got bought by a businessman in the town it was in. So, uh, I mean, that would be amazing if Ed Hart bought it, but I could not see that happening. Uh, but Six Flags, I don't think they're gonna like completely disappear. They may have to get rid of a few parks. That I could definitely see happening. And maybe depending on what happens, it could be for the better. Obviously, if they close, it's for the worse. But uh, yeah. I think the parks in Texas, Georgia, and Florida have a shot of reopening in June. Yeah, that's probably the states where I could see them opening in June. And for other states, though, such as my home state of Ohio, it may be even longer before those parks reopen. I think that's about right. Probably same with California. It's probably going to take a little longer for them to reopen. Maybe not. We'll just kind of have to wait and see um, exactly how this, over the next few weeks, like how uh, things reopening, does it create a spike? What happens? So. How would the states with the most COVID open the soonest? Well, Georgia, I know is reopening a ton of stuff or is going to soon, and I believe Florida and Texas are doing the same. Whether it's the right thing or not, I'm not here to discuss that, but that's just the information I know of right now. So that's also why I think Florida is. I mean, I'm not gonna comment on New York, it's New York City's so dense, so it probably would hurt them really badly if like stuff reopened. But I'm not gonna really say if things are right and wrong. I really don't know yet. Like the numbers will kind of speak for themselves when it happens. The parks in New York. Honestly, I'd like to go to Coney Island for the Cyclone and Six Flags Darien Lake. That seems like a pretty nice park. Well, in some respects. So, those are some parks I'd visit. But for as many coasters as they have and as many parks as they have, there's quite a few that just kind of seem like not really much. Oh yeah, also Great Escape has Comet. So, uh, you live in New York City. Like there's some parks there. Yeah, Great Escape. There's hardly anyone like I know that's actually been. I feel like it'd be a nicer park, but I wouldn't know if anyone's been there. Like say you can tell me. But Comet looks really awesome, so the economy cannot be shut down forever. People need to get to work and everyone's stuck at home and not working. Yeah, there's a lot of things. I'm not gonna discuss all of that, but yeah, there's definitely a lot of things. Six Flags Darien Lake looks like a slightly better Six Flags America. It seems a lot nicer, but once again, I wouldn't know. 1930s. Your mom's been the Great Escape. That's cool. Rye Playland. Oh yeah, they have that coaster. I forget what it's called. Maybe it's like I feel like it has like a really simple name or something like that. They have that wooden coaster with the I think the dragon or something. Maybe it's called Dragon. I forget what it's called. I don't that. But that thing it looks pretty cool. Is it really just called Dragon? Yeah, that ride actually looks awesome. Um, yeah, no, I've seen like a POV of that ride. That place also looks pretty cool. Great Escape was better than I thought. Nice theming. The Dragon Coaster is awesome. Like these kind of, I feel like it's older. These older wooden coasters intrigue me, so I would definitely like to go to New York because they have a few of them. So, my thoughts on Elitch Gardens. Airtime Thrills just said it was the worst park ever. I've never been, so I wouldn't know. But to be quite honest, it does not seem like a good park. It honestly, like, it seems like what I would like Six Flags America. I've heard pretty horrible things about, and this seems like an even worse version of it. I mean, I guess I'm not surprised because I guess it's supposed to eventually close. So like, it's just kind of one of those weird parks. Like, it's one of those parks where it's like, it's just like they already know it's gonna close eventually, at least as far as I know. But uh, it's just kind of like you guys can still operate until we say you guys have to close. It's just very strange. Six Flags America. Well, if you think it's fine, then that's good. Like I've heard mixed things on it. I've heard mostly bad things, but I've heard a few good things. So I've never been. So although I will say I did skip it on my trip to Washington D.C., but I couldn't do too many parks. I could only pick one, and I was like doing an East Coast trip, so I picked Hershey. And so that's kind of why I skipped Six Flags America then. I think Indiana has also started or will start reopening their economy very soon. Indiana Beach will have a shot of reopening by July as well as Holiday World. Could see that, yeah, that could be a thing because, like, that's gonna be interesting. Whether it opens this year or next year, like just Indiana Beach opening, I think there's gonna be a few things that are different about it. Like, I think it should actually be better than it was before. Like I've heard that it'll be like the guy who it's gonna be family owned, so that's like a good thing. And they're repainting a lot of the rides and giving refurbishment to things that need to be refurbished. So it looks like they're gonna be taking great care of that park. I don't know how far they're gonna go with new additions, but at least it looks like they're gonna take care of what they had. Apex was just a trash company. I've heard pretty bad things about them, so I'm not surprised to hear that. Six Flags America has made a drastic turnaround since 2010. I hope so because, like I said, I've heard some bad things. But I mean, there's some coasters there, so I'd definitely like to visit eventually. Do I have any nano coasters? No, I don't right now. Airtime Thrills is spoiled because he lives close to Magic Mountain. Of course, Six Flags America wouldn't be Magic Mountain level good, but it's still good. You just need to know what to expect. I mean, he's been to so many parks though, so I mean, I live in California. I mean, my home park. I'm not really that close to it, but Magic Mountain is technically, I guess, my home park. I consider it that, even though it's like 2.5 hours away from me, because I'm in like literally the middle of California. But I mean, I think some of these parks that people trash on, I'd probably like them. There's not really too many parks that I really didn't like. Although Discovery Kingdom has been not the best the last few times I visited. I'd say that park just seems to disappoint me like every time I visit it. Um, well, with that logic, you could say I'm spoiled because you live in between Kings Island and Cedar Point. That's pretty good. Magic Mountain could use another wooden coaster. I guess. I mean, yeah, they could, but it doesn't. I don't think it's really going to be anything that marketable. So I don't really see them doing that in the future. In Apocalypse, I haven't ridden it since the retrack, but I've heard it's been running amazingly. So um, I need to definitely ride that on my next visit. I think it could definitely go into my like top 30 coasters because it's like a decent bit outside of it, but that was before the retrack, and it's apparently been running like really well. Roar almost closed. Maybe they thought of an RMC. They actually teased that once. Maybe that RMC could come soon. RMC Roar, like I've heard, uh, actually, Roar at Discovery Kingdom, I probably mentioned this in one of my other live streams. I thought it was actually a pretty decent coaster, but it just wasn't like, actually, I'd say it was more than decent. It was a pretty solid ride, one of my favorite coasters at the park at the time. I don't think it really needed the RMC treatment. Of course, it's a lot better now as Joker, but it was still a pretty fun ride back then. I've heard Roar at Six Flags America is like way worse and deserved the RMC treatment, so I hope that they get that. Where do I live? You grew up in California, Fresno, California, so you've probably heard of it. Um, but we don't really have much as far as parks around here. I have, actually, I'll drink water real quick. Um, but there's two kiddie coasters in my hometown that I've never ridden. I was hoping to ride one of them this year, but I don't know if that's gonna happen. They're like less than 15 minutes away from me, so it's just kind of funny. I've never ridden them. Apocalypse seems solid. Yeah, it looks like a. I mean, it was already a pretty solid ride like before, and like with the retracking, it looks. I think it'll be better. Fresno is awesomely placed for national parks, but not amusement parks. That's true. Although I actually haven't been to Yosemite that much. Like I've been a few times, but probably is not as much as you would expect. Being like someone who lives there, it's just kind of like. But yeah, it's just definitely there's like some benefits for it. But as far as amusement parks go, I mean, at least you can there's like a bunch of parks that are in driving distance. But it is obviously a longer drive, but at least there's that. Um, Roar doesn't need the RMC treatment. A Raptor would be better. Could be. Have I ever been to California's Great America? Yeah, I've been twice. It's actually technically closer to me than Magic Mountain. It's when you have Magic Mountain, it's not that much farther away. It's a little hard to like just kind of go for Great America, but it is a really fun park. So, Six Flags Discovery Kingdom looks lacking simply because of no Woody. A Woody really adds so much to a park. I have a million problems with Discovery Kingdom besides having a wooden coaster. There are animal exhibits. I like to visit zoos and aquariums, but their animal exhibits are uh, not very good. I'll just say the quality of them, I don't think they're that good. I feel bad for some of the animals in some of the cases. Their operations are always pretty weak, it seems like, when I go there. And I don't know, it just doesn't give off the best vibe. It just, I don't know, like, it just, I don't know. Not my favorite park at all. Adventure Park USA is literally 5 minutes away from my house with three coasters, but I've never been there. Adventure Park, hold on. For a moment I thought you meant Adventure City, but Obviously, it's not that. Adventure Park. I'm looking it up because I've heard of it, but so they have a kiddie coaster, uh, a my, I assuming F miler, something like that. Um, oh, they have Wild West Express. That's a Same Peril Windstorm. That's probably their big coaster there, right? And Wildcat. Oh, well, they do have a Schwarzkopf Wildcat. I mean, it's something. I think I would have definitely gone if it were like 5 minutes away from me, but uh, yeah. I'm sorry if you've already asked it. Sorry if I've already answered this question, but do I think that Six Flags Magic Mountain will still get their Raptor in 2021? If so, then delaying my SoCal trip to 2021 could actually end up working in my favor. I think they will get it in 2021. And the reason why is because like they would have literally like West Coast Racers was supposed to open in 2019. They sort of advertised it for 2020, but not really, like just sort of. And then of course now we had this long delay. So I feel like yeah, it probably will open in 2021, but I cannot say for certain. Uh, let's see what else we got here. Every park should have two wooden coasters. Actually, I have something. That is something that can't happen, but it would be awesome if it could. Great Adventures animals are awesome. Their exhibits, yeah, they seem a lot better than Discovery Kingdoms. Discovery Kingdom, I don't know. Just like some of them are fine, and others are just terrible. Like their elephant exhibit, which they no longer have, was awful. Uh, there's just a few things that are just not really well maintained. Technically, the closest coaster to me is an SBF Visa spinner at Incredible Pizza Company, 45 minutes away. I have a John's Incredible Pizza, like probably 15 minutes or less away from me. Actually, definitely less. But they don't have any coasters, so. But I've been multiple times, but only when I was like younger. Yeah, a Wildcat's pretty nice actually. Like in my hometown, we have two kiddie coasters. That's literally it. And it's an ENF Miler and some other random Molina and Sons kiddie coaster. I think that's the company that manufactured it. Kind of funny though. You want to go there, but you can't drive. You said it's 5 minutes away from you. Like for me, if there was a park that was like 5 minutes away from me, I did cross country for so long. I probably would have just one day for the heck of it, like just ran there and then ran back if I needed to do that. Um, let's see. Closest coaster to me is either at Six Flags America or if you count the County Fair's Kiddie Coaster, then the Kiddie Coaster Dragon Wagon. Six Flags America, like if it's like within like an hour and a half, that's like a pretty good home park to have, honestly. Because like if a park, even if it wasn't even that anything that major, as long as they had one decent coaster, if there was just a park that was within an hour of me, that would be amazing. An hour and a half. Yep, that's pretty good. Um, because Magic Mountain's like 2.5 hours at me at least. So that's unfortunate. There's a tiny fair that comes every now and then each summer, and sometimes it has a kiddie coaster, but it's so pointless for me to go and pay $10. It's $10 to ride a kiddie coaster. That's terrible. That's so bad. Like Phoenix, how many times could you ride Phoenix for that? I don't know exactly how much it costs, but I feel like you could ride it multiple times for the amount you'd have to ride this kiddie coaster once. Just walk or ride a bike. Uh, there's a John C. Allen designed PTC Junior Woody and an SBF spinner in my hometown of Columbus. The Woody is the closest roller coaster to my house. Interesting. Wait a minute. Um, in Columbus, Ohio. So, wait, is it the Columbus Zoo? They have a park near there, right? Um, maybe I'm getting something mixed up here, but I think that's what you're talking about. Um, let's see. King's Dominion is only 15 minutes further. I have no idea why you haven't gone yet. Yeah, you should definitely go. I've heard amazing things about that park, and they got Twisted Timbers and Intimidator 305. So Definitely should go do that if you can. Six Flags America is about an hour and 15 minutes away from me, and Hershey is about 2 hours. Well, you're probably going to go to Hershey more than Six Flags America just because, like, at that point, it's kind of like with me and like Magic Mountain in California's Great America. Yeah, Great America's like um, a little bit closer to me, but at that point, I'd rather just go to Magic Mountain. Um, I mean, when I was in Atlanta, I looked up Fun Spot Atlanta prices, and their kiddie coaster is $7. Wait, it's a. Oh wait, yeah, they are pay per ride. I forgot they were pay per ride. Trust me, I can't bike on those roads. Yikes. Um, oh, they don't want to pay the toll to go to Virginia. Yeah, I guess that makes sense because that would probably get really annoying. This is one of the best new coaster channels in my opinion. I mean, I've been around for over a year, but I guess I'm relatively new. So, yeah, thank you very much. That actually means a lot to me. Thank you guys, actually. I went to Six Flags America 10 times last year and haven't been to Hershey since 2016. Oh, interesting. Like, I mean, it is closer, so I can understand why. Um, but my God, if Hershey was like 2 hours away from me, oh man, that'd be amazing. I may be going back to Six Flags Great America in 2021 if I get to Silver Dollar City this year, if not 2022. Uh, that's cool. Yeah, that looks pretty good. That's pretty good. Six Flags Great America also looks awesome. They have a great wooden coaster collection, so that's pretty awesome. Six Flags Great America is my place to go, and you only live 50 minutes away. That's pretty awesome. That's a great home park to have, especially within like 1 hour. That's amazing. Only got 8 credits last time, so I'm hyped to go back. Yeah, it looks like a really cool park, so I'm excited to go when I get the chance. Definitely one of my most anticipated Six Flags parks. How did I get so many subs that fast? Pretty complicated. Well, not exactly, but maybe like I'll answer that in an email or something. I don't exactly have like the best answer on my mind. I need to kind of think for that. I still have my membership. Yeah, I mean, I would. It definitely. That's like I said, Six Flags Great America. That's a great home park to have. Yes, the wooden coaster. Okay, this is the one in Columbus. Is named Sea Dragon and is located at the Jungle Jacks Landing Park inside of the Columbus Zoo. The SBF spinner is named Nuclear Rush Coaster and is located at Scene 75. Don't know what Scene 75 is, but I've definitely heard of the place by the Columbus Zoo. Actually, the Columbus Zoo, I almost considered going to it for my Cedar Point trip, but it was too far out of the way. But I really like zoos, and it was one I really wanted to visit. So, Sea Dragon is currently the oldest operating roller coaster in Ohio. It first opened in 1956. Interesting. Well, that makes it more unique. China. Let's see. What else? Hershey is obviously well known and liked in the coaster community, but I still think it's a little underrated among enthusiasts. Such a great park. I agree. Like, I don't understand, like, I don't know. Like, it seems like a lot of people have parks that I'm, like, just kind of surprised over it. Like, there's no way I'd ever put Magic Mountain ahead of it. Like, I know, like, some people more care about coaster collection, but I don't know. I think at some point you have to care at least a little bit about the atmosphere and the food and everything. And I think Hershey Park like excels in a whole lot of different things. Where some parks are just kind of like, oh, they have a really good ride lineup. And Hershey Park, they have a really good coaster lineup. So not really. I'm surprised that some people seem to underrate it so much. I didn't get a Six Flags season pass this year. Actually, I haven't gotten one either. So yeah, I'm gonna get to trivia soon enough. The trick to gaining subs is be unique, consistent, and have high quality from what I've seen with my channels and others. Yeah, that's correct. Definitely a big thing. That's correct, yes. Let's see. All right, yeah, I'm going to do trivia. You have all the Hershey critics except Skyrush, dang. Well, I don't know if you'll like that one or not because it's very polarizing, but yeah. All right, I'm gonna get to my next two questions. I'm gonna be doing it by two questions, I guess, for the trivia. And so our next question is, what is the name of the oldest operating coaster at Michigan's Adventure? I'll say that again. What is the name of the oldest operating coaster at Michigan's Adventure? So let's see. Corkscrew, yep, that's right. Phantom Coasters and Coaster Lover got it. Zach Zoomer is a little bit newer, but good guess. Nah, not quite Wolverine. Wildcat, but those were good guesses. I figured some people would probably guess the wooden coasters because that would seem to make sense, right? But no, yeah, Corkscrew was the first one. I believe it opened in 1979, so pretty interesting. And then our second question is, well, I guess the fourth one, I guess now. When did Steel Dragon 2000 first get B&M trains? I'll say that again. What year did Steel Dragon 2000 first get B&M trains? I think I may have saw this in another one, but not 2003, no, not 2006. No one's gotten it yet. 1997, no. I don't even think it opened in 1997. 2014, no. 2013, yep, that's right. It was 2013. 2013, Steel Dragon got their B&M trains. You were pretty close, Matthew, for not having having like no idea. But yeah, 2013. You searched it up on our CDV. Yes. Steel Dragon did open in 2000, obviously, because that's the name. Uh, but it got the B&M trains in 2013. Have never ridden it, but definitely seems like a cool ride. Yeah, Big Dipper at Massachusetts. Wait, oh, Michigan's Adventure got renamed. Yeah, it's like Woodstock Express. I'm sad. I thought they were actually gonna get a new coaster, and it was like, oh yeah, nope, we're just like renaming it and maybe relocating it. I don't even know if they're doing that, but I assume they're just renaming it as part of the area, so that's just kind of sad. Uh, I remember because it beat Millie. Yep, I won't be able to ride it soon. Yeah, it's pretty far out there, but a Japan trip definitely something I want to do in the future. We should do even more trivia. I'll do a little. I'm gonna not take as long as I did. I'll start again in. Uh, let's see. We'll go 10 minutes from now. I'll do the next two questions. How about that? Um, oh, you're gonna ride Steel Dragon 2000 next year. It looks really fun. Some people are like would think because I like Superman El Ultimo Escape so much that I'd probably be like really excited to ride it. Not so much. It's a very much a different ride from Superman El Ultimo Escape, but it still looks really fun, pretty cool. So definitely looking forward to riding it when I can. Another fun fact, Six Flags used to own the property of where Jungle Jack's Landing and the Zambezi Bay Water Park currently occupy. Really? The park was called, I'm not even going to try to say that, Lake Amusement Park. So that's interesting. It was purchased by the zoo in 2006. Would make sense because zoo's very well known, so probably should have their own little park. So, and water park, yeah, I totally forgot about that. They had that. I probably won't be able to ride Steel Dragon 2000 when I go. I'll be too tall. Really? Oh, I don't know I don't know the height limit. Like, I'm not tall enough where I ever have to worry about that. But I mean, there's a lot better coasters in Japan, in my opinion. So, not the end of the world. Those earliest corkscrews last about 2 seconds. Like the actual coasters or the inversions themselves, both of them seem to go pretty quick. Uh, let's see. What about Mamba? Mamba, like it's pretty much I see it as Steel Dragon but smaller. So, cool ride, but not one I'm like really excited for. Weon dot is pronounced like Y and dot or Y and dot. Interesting. Okay. I was like, I don't know how to say that. Hakuge looks like the B&M Hyper of RMCs. It looks really good though. I think it's gonna be like a. If I were to write it right now, I think it'd be in my top 5. But who knows? Oh, that's right. You love El Ultimo Scape. I think I've learned since we discussed it that there are a lot more people like you who love it than I thought. You know, I thought I was in the minority, like when I first wrote it. Like I knew El Toro Ryan liked it, but he didn't release. Maybe he released his review. I don't even know if he released his review. No, I don't think he did. I really doubt it. But I thought it was really amazing. Uh, then, of course, how it runs can differ, I guess, at least from what I've heard. But yeah, haven't ridden a Morgan yet. There's 2 Morgans in my state, and I haven't ridden either of them. So West Coaster and Quicksilver Express, I think, is the other one at Gilroy Gardens. Yeah, I think that's it. Um, Yeah, he did review it. Yeah, I know he reviewed it. I just wasn't sure if he reviewed it before I wrote it. Um, but yeah. No, I just meant that the entire ride on old corkscrews is really, really short. I've only ridden corkscrew at Cedar Point. Not the best ride. However, the first airtime hill is pretty underrated, so I will say that, but the rest of the ride, not a big fan. I go to KC all the time, but don't have enough time to go to Worlds of Fun. Seems like a nice small park, so obviously they have Prowler, Mamba, Timberwolf now, which is better in Patriot, so they have a decent amount of coasters, like a decent selection, so definitely should try to make it when you can. Do I think Vekoma will come out with a second generation boomerang? Probably eventually. Like, it takes up such. Well, actually, I don't know. Because so many parks have a boomerang. Like, why? Why would they. A bunch of them already have a boomerang. It's like kind of one of those things with the inverts. It's like I want to see the new Vekoma suspended coasters come over here. The suspended thrill coaster come over here to the U.S. But so many parks have either an SLC or a B&M invert that you probably won't see it happening. They'll probably make a second generation boomerang, they'll probably be like really good, but there'll probably not be that many of them because so many parks have them. Let's see what else we got here. Steel Eel is apparently good too. Yeah, that ride, that one is one that I'm definitely looking forward to. I think besides Phantom's Revenge, it's my most anticipated Morgan coaster. That one looks really good. I've heard Superman is generally considered to be the best traditional Morgan Hyper. I don't think I would really consider Phantom's Revenge to be a traditional Morgan Hyper. Yeah, it's definitely different, but I'm really excited to ride Phantom's Revenge. It looks like a really cool ride, but definitely not a traditional ride. No. Uh, let's see. Boomerang and SLCs are underrated. I don't know. I don't know about that. Well, okay. So SLCs actually I can kind of agree because I don't hate them. At least from the one I've ridden in Kong, I didn't think it was that bad. Boomerangs I really don't like, so I can't agree with you there. But SLCs I can kind of see your point. All right, see you, Phantom Coasters. Yeah, see you next time. I guess. You know what? I guess I'll do my next 2 questions of trivia just because I remembered it. So if you guys are ready for that, we're going to do that right now. Alrighty, so our next question is, in 2006, how many B&M Hyper models were opened, or B&M Hyper coasters were opened? I'll say that again. In 2006, how many B&M Hyper coasters or Hyper models were opened? No one's gotten it yet. It's not 3. Looking at something real quick. 2, that's correct. Yep, 2 of them. Yep. 2 of them opened that year. They were Goliath and I said hyper models because I know some people consider Goliath at LaRon, not a hypercoaster because technically it's not over 200 feet, but it's two of them, and the two that opened were Goliath at Six Flags over Georgia and Goliath at LaRon. And yes, Goliath at LaRon isn't over 200 feet, so some people don't consider it hyper, but I said hyper models, so just two of them opened that year. And then my second question, or the next one, I keep losing count. What was the name of the first roller coaster manufactured by SNS called? Pretty sure you guys will get this one pretty quick. I'll repeat that question again. What was the name of the first roller coaster manufactured by SNS? Yep, Hypersonic XLC. There you go. Coaster Roaster got it. Coaster Lover also. Like everyone's getting it. Like I think everyone kind of knew that. That one, or at least had a decent idea. But it's actually kind of crazy. I don't understand why King's Dominion, it was under Paramount at the time. I guess it was cheaper, but I'm surprised they just straight up bought the prototype at the facility, and you were the first one to say XLC at the end. Actually, Coasters Lover got it first, but I see what you mean. But it's crazy that King's Dominion, they actually just straight up bought the prototype straight from the facility. Like they should have gotten the actual coaster. Probably would have made it so it would have been more reliable, and they could have even had it still to this day. So it's kind of sad that it didn't work out for them. Goliath at LaRon and Hollywood Dream are B&M hyper models, but aren't technically hypers. Yes, that's correct. Same way that Leviathan, Orion, and Fury 325 are also B&M hypercoaster models, but they're considered gigas. So yeah, kind of weird, like how they classify that. Let's see. So for there's a question. I consider coasters like those as mega coasters. Yeah, kind of like with the Intamin. So yeah, that makes sense. So future videos I'm making, I was hoping to release my Hershey Park ranking this week. I don't think that's gonna happen, so I'm looking for doing it next week. I've just had a lot of schoolwork because my school we're still having to turn in stuff for a grade. But I'm doing a Hershey Park ranking. I'll be ranking all 14 coasters there, even Candemonium. It'll be a bit of a prediction because I haven't ridden that one, but most of the other coasters I've ridden, so that should be a good list. And then I'm also planning to do in the future, I'm still trying to do the Twisted Colossus versus Medusa Steel Coaster Battle. And I'm trying to make also a top 10, my top 10 most anticipated parks to visit in Florida. So those are kind of the videos you can expect to see next. And if Cedar Point opens soon, then I'll probably come out with a review for it. I'm kind of waiting for it to open to release my review for it. But I've had like the script for a while. It's just I haven't had like a good time to release it. So that's kind of what's going to happen in the future. And let's see what else you guys have. Mega coasters are the Intamin models. Yes. Yeah, I can see that. Do you think a different manufacturer will come out with a Raptor style model? So you mean like a single rail? Like how they have it? I don't know. GCI maybe just because they're doing the hybrid thing. Although I assume they're going to be doing something very unique, very different from the from what RMC does. I could see it happen eventually. I don't know who would do it exactly. Maybe Intamin? I don't know. I would say probably not anytime in the near future. In my opinion, a mega coaster is a coaster that acts like a hyper but isn't tall enough to be considered a hyper. That's kind of what some people, yeah, there's a lot of coasters that are like that. So I've just never heard anyone refer to like Goliath at LaRonde or Hollywood Dream as mega coasters, but if you consider it that, then I could see that. Hi there, Downhill Adrenaline. Nice to see you here. Honestly, I could see SNS try a single rail coaster. I doubt it just because they seem to be very innovative. At least they seem to be pretty innovative, and they do kind of take stuff from Arrow's concepts, but kind of improve on them and like make their own thing with their like Axis coaster. I think they'll be doing more unique things. I don't think we'll be seeing a single rail. Intamin could try it. That's what I was saying earlier. I don't know if that'll happen, but we'll have to just kind of wait and see. So, yeah, I could definitely see Intamin trying to do it, though. SNS is my favorite manufacturer just because of how much they innovate. It is pretty cool. I've never ridden an SNS coaster, unless you consider X2 because of like the work they did on it, but I really don't. But maybe a T-Rex type instead. If it's a single rail coaster, I mean, yes, Raptor's smaller, but I think we're just more discussing if parks are, or if manufacturers are going to do their own single rail coasters. Yeah, but like they'll probably make it like the bigger one. I don't think they'll do like a small capacity sort of thing. Plus, Max Force is incredible. Yeah, that ride, it looks really awesome. I don't know if it's the best coaster at Six Flags Great America. I know some people think it is. I mean, you have Goliath there too, which also looks really good. And some people would even say Raging Bull. I don't really think so, but we'll see. Axis coaster. Or if you're asking for where I think the first one will go, my guess was Six Flags Fiesta Texas. Now, if their thing gets pushed back, maybe not. But I'm still going to guess that's where the first one is going. But I'm definitely really excited to see the first one get built because that ride, like the whole concept looks amazing. If RMC made a launched RMC Raptor or T-Rex, that would be epic. I think we'll see it eventually. I think we'll see a launched single rail coaster, probably a T-Rex, but yeah, autocorrect is kind of annoying. But no, that would be, I think we will see that, and yeah, that'll be really awesome. I think those single rail coasters are going to be like, once RMC like starts making more unique layouts with their T-Rex, those are going to be like the best coasters out there. And we're probably going to see like, of course, like there's just a lot of coasters like are going to come that are going to be really good. Like, coasters just seem to be getting better over time, it seems, but at least for some manufacturers. Others, maybe not so much. Max Force is your number 1, Goliath number 2, Raging Bull number 3, and American Eagle number 4. Nice. Actually, so I'm guessing you would not want to see American Eagle get RMC'd because I've heard some people, they're like they really wanted to get RMC'd, other people don't. I don't know how realistic that is. I assume. I feel like they were, well, actually they were trying to do it before Goliath happened, so that's pretty interesting. 500-foot T-Rex at Cedar Point. I don't think that's happening. I don't think a 500-foot T-Rex. Honestly, like when people say that RMC, like they said, oh, we're building these to be like 300, 400, 500 feet. I don't know that that was legit. I don't know that I can see a 500 foot T-Rex, at least anytime real soon. Maybe 10, 15 years, something like that from now. Not anytime like soon. No, I want RMC American Eagle. If it's an improvement, I want it. That's how some people feel about it. I don't know. I mean, like, I don't know. Like, if a wooden coaster is already good, I just say keep it as is. But, of course, RMC hybrids always seem to be better than their the coaster that they were before, I guess, if that makes sense. Within 10 years, single rails will be everywhere, I bet. The fact that a South Dakota community park is getting one says it all about the cost. Yeah, that is actually pretty funny. Although the thing is, that South Dakota park did get it for like, they got it for a discount. They may have, I forget exactly what it was, but RMC was trying to sell it at IAPA, I think. Or they were trying to sell it somewhere. And I forget how much off they said, but they gave a discount, and then the park in South Dakota bought it. I don't remember the name of it. I think it's more of a water park than an amusement park. I think they have like an amusement park area, but that's very interesting that they're actually getting one. Do I think the RMC hybrid conversion models are dying out? Like the hybrid conversions, like from wooden, the older wooden coasters, yes. I think honestly, I would not be surprised if we see less than 5 more ever done. Like there's a few rides I could see still happening. Predator at Darien Lake, Roar at Six Flags America, and there's probably a few more I'm not thinking of that maybe could. I guess American Eagle could happen. But I don't see a lot more happening because I think RMC would probably rather do their ground up projects anyways. So, but as for like RMC hybrid like ground up coasters, I think those are still going to be made a lot. But you probably will be seeing more single rail coasters than hybrid ground up projects in the future as well, I think. I only live near a small Six Flags park, so I haven't experienced a real good coaster. Which Six Flags park is it? I'm just curious. Do you think Great Escape will have a Goliath clone? Probably not. I feel like they don't have the space. I don't know their space and their limitations, but I doubt it. Frontier City. Okay, so yeah, I don't think they really have that many major coasters there. I think they have like I think they have a Schwarzkopf looper. I don't know what else they have there, but not a whole lot. But yeah, there's only one park in South Dakota, really. That I guess that makes sense. Which Cedar Fair parks will get ground up RMCs? I don't know. It's hard to say. Yeah, I don't know. I honestly couldn't tell you right now. If American Eagle gets RMC'd, can I take Goliath to Six Flags America? Some people are like that. We're asking like maybe should it get moved somewhere else? I mean, I guess if that were to happen, sure, but I think American Eagle would be a different enough ride that they could have both in the same park. Cedar Fair doesn't have a good relationship with RMC. It's a bit mixed, but at this point, Cedar Fair, I feel like they have kind of a rough relationship with actually now a decent amount of companies. At some point, it's going to be like they have like they can't close themselves out from like a bunch of major manufacturers. I don't think. So I think RMC they'll be a little more forgiving than with Intamin. Intamin's just I don't know. What's up with Jersey Devil construction? I believe it resumed, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But I think it resumed. I'm not sure. The RMC Raptor is going to South Dakota. I'm like pretty sure. Let's see. Railblazer. Oh, hi, 808 Coaster Life. Nice to see you. Wait. Oh, there's been issues with Steel Vengeance. I heard mostly Steel Vengeance, not so much Twisted Timbers, but I've heard there's been issues with Steel Vengeance. I think Railblazers has been pretty good. All right, yeah, I was just about to go to trivia anyways, and thank you for reminding me. Mark my words, Six Flags America Access Coaster 2023. If that actually ends up happening, that'd be crazy, but I don't see that happening. Alrighty, so I'm going to be doing our next 2 questions of trivia. So our next question is, and I'll repeat it after I say it, what was the name of the first roller coaster manufactured by CCI? I'll say that again. What was the name of the first roller coaster manufactured by CCI or Custom Coasters International? Was not Rampage, no. Good guess, though. I could see why you would think that. But no, it's not Rampage. Kingdom Coaster, yep, that's it. 808 Coaster Life got it. Not Cornball Express. Yep, at Dutch Wonderland, yep. I was surprised. Like I was looking at that, I was like, "Wait, really? This is the first one?" Honestly, I don't think I'd even heard of it until like maybe a few days ago. But yeah, that's kind of interesting. And our next question will be the next question is true or false? There are more than 200 currently operating wooden coasters in the entire world. I'll say that again. True or false? There are more than 200 wooden roller coasters that are currently operating in the entire world. I'm not going to say it until someone's got it. Okay, yep. All right. Coaster Lover got it. I'm not going to count Boomerang Reverse because you said both true and false, so that's kind of cheating. But Coaster Lover got it right. False. There's only about 188. It is around that 180 mark. The problem is with like Funtown closing and Indiana Beach, like uh, it's like around the 180 mark, but yes, it is under 200, so which is kind of sad. It's kind of crazy to think about. And I know some of you guys were saying, well, every park should have 2 wooden coasters. Well, it's like really sad that there's actually less than 200 wooden coasters in the entire world. Um, which that's just kind of why it's not the case. They're just some of them are a little difficult to maintain. But that's kind of also why I see RMC hybrid conversions. There's probably not going to be too many more of them. Obviously, they wouldn't do 188 conversions or whatever, but I don't think they're going to do like more than 5 conversions. Okay, yes, it's in South Dakota to Wild Water West, a water park that has no coasters at all right now. I think they have an amusement park section. So it's not like it's like a complete water park, although it is kind of funny that I think it's mostly a water park and they're getting an RMC Raptor out of all things. Like I'm just like thinking in my head, man, if my home park got one of these, that would have been amazing. And there's like people right that like that probably like in South Dakota, you're like, you've got to be kidding me! An RMC Raptors coming to my hometown, like that's just insane to me. Um, yeah, and then I guess actually I'm gonna probably I'm gonna do this for about 20 more minutes, and then I'm gonna end the stream. Um, but I guess I'll do the last few trivia questions, and then I'll go back to what you guys are saying. All right, so the next question is, what was the last or most recent coaster from E&F Myler to be built? I'll say that again. What was the last or most recent coaster from E&F Myler to be built? Also, if you can guess the park it's at, that would be pretty good. Wild Waves, that's correct. Both Stamford Bridge and Coaster Lover got it. And it is at Playland's Castaway Cove, so that's pretty interesting. The one at Fun Spot Atlanta, not quite, but yeah. Now I need to go back because I know you guys have some things. What's my home park? Six Flags Magic Mountain. It's about 2.5 hours away from me. Great America is technically closer to me, but I just prefer to go to Magic Mountain. Magic Mountain is getting a Raptor. Yeah, I made a video on that way back when. I think it has over 1,000 views, something like that. I got that prediction right too in my prediction video. We have a down and back Woody Anton Schwarzkopf show loop in a family suspended coaster. Wait, what is this? Oh, for Frontier City. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, it's an okay collection, I guess. For Frontier City, but definitely one of the weaker ones for Six Flags. Surprisingly fun coaster. Oh, that's cool. Okay, so you've actually ridden it. Yeah, it seems rather fun. I haven't seen too much of it, but yeah. Yeah, it intertwines with Gale Force. That's like the big thing about it. That's like the really cool part of it. Magic Mountain is getting a Raptor in 2021, yes. Might be postponed because of coronavirus. I was saying earlier it's probably not going to because Magic Mountain, like, they pretty much didn't get anything this year. Like, they were sort of advertising West Coast racers for this year, but not really. So, yeah, but you live like 10 minutes away from there, so it's not that bad. Yeah, if you live 10 minutes away from there, that's amazing. That's great. Like for me, like I said, because I have to drive like basically 2 hours plus, or my family has to drive me 2 hours plus to go to a park. So, yeah, it's kind of crazy. Although my family, we do like to visit parks, so it's like we're all wanting to visit these places. Gale Force looks kind of polarizing. I think I feel like I think they had that issue like with the track. So some people got bad rides on it. I've heard now that it's like really good, but or at least it looks like a really fun ride. So it looks pretty cool. Is ENF Miler still in business? As far as I'm aware, I believe they are, but I wouldn't know for certain. I found Gale Force to be surprisingly intense. It looks pretty intense. It reminds me a lot of like a Premier Skyrocket too. Um, but it looks pretty cool. Why does everyone like Coaster at Peony Playland? The insane airtime. If you've seen, there's like a theme park review video where someone like literally almost flies out of their seat. It's pretty insane. Like the airtime you get on that ride looks absolutely crazy. Um, I mean, it's definitely a ride I want to ride. Definitely, it's just it looks so crazy, but it looks so good at the same time. So that's probably why a lot of people like it. The insane airtime on it. So because the restraints are like super loose. So my family never visits parks. I force my dad to. Oof. I am 3 hours from over Texas. That's not bad. Although you haven't been yet, definitely should try to go. I've never been there, but it definitely looks like a pretty cool park, and they definitely have some great coasters there. Like I've heard Judge Roy's Scream is pretty good, pretty underrated. They have Titan, which I don't really like Goliath, but some people like Titan. So, and of course, New Texas Giant's pretty cool, and Shockwave's also pretty awesome from what I've heard. I want a Hellraiser clone at Six Flags America. Probably not happening. Uh, did I forget to ask the last question? I did. I'll ask that in a few minutes. Um, why do people pretend like Six Flags America competes with Six Flags Great Adventure when they're like 3.5 hours apart? They don't really, especially because they're from Six Flags. So, yeah. Totally smooth. Oh, okay. So this is for Gale Force. Totally smooth, but with the forces and the way it whips you around, I think a lot of people might call it rough. Interesting. Gale Force has that rip your face off intensity, better than Skyrocket 2's by a lot. Interesting. I think I actually really like Skyrocket 2's, so. Did I not? I said the answer to the last question was Wild Waves at Playland's Castaway Cove was the first ENF Miler coaster, so if you missed it, that's what it was. Um, that will never happen because Six Flags doesn't work with Gerstlauer anymore. Oh yeah, right. They're not ever working with them again. Yep, that's correct. Yep, that'll never happen. Do you think Intamin will make more wooden coasters? Highly doubt it. Very unlikely. Actually, maybe they'll do like a few, but actually, I don't know. Actually, I'm gonna take that back. No, I don't think it'll happen because their prefabs. There's like no reason for them at this point because RMCs exist. So, at least to parks, that's what it would seem like, which is sad, but that's just kind of how it is. How likely do you think an extended Skyrocket 2 would happen? I feel like an Asian park would just kind of be like, would probably could probably convince like Premier to do that. I think it'll happen. Um, I feel like that would happen. Yeah. Probably in like an Asian park, I feel like they would do that. I mean, I'd be all for it. That'd look pretty cool, I think. Um, but yeah, I could definitely see that. That's what we call the Skyrocket 3. It exists full throttle. Honestly, I prefer Skyrocket 2s over Full Throttle, and I mean, I don't they're pretty different rides, so they don't really feel that similar. So I think he's more like saying one that generally has the same layout. So yeah, I guess I'll ask the last question now, and this was the one I was talking about earlier. This is about a coaster I was talking about earlier, but the last question is, what year did Excalibur, the CCI wooden coaster at Funtown Splashtown, USA, first open? I'll repeat that again. What year did Excalibur, the CCI wooden coaster at Funtown Splashtown, USA, first open? So whoever guesses that first. 1998. Yep, that's correct. The Coaster Roaster got it. It opened in 1998, 1997. You were close. Um, so yes, it opened in 1998, and if you missed it earlier, I was just talking about it. Funtown, I, I have the name of the park. Sorry, Funtown Splashtown USA. It's gonna be closed for the rest of the season, and there's a possibility it may close forever, which would be terrible because I've wanted to ride Excalibur for like a decent while. I hope it doesn't happen, but it might just happen, and it's just pretty sad. That's like kind of the news that came out this week. And Skyrocket 1 would be Skyrocket at Kennywood. Yeah, I've heard different things about that ride. It seems like one I'd want to ride, but definitely like there's some more intriguing coasters at the park. They have like those um, pretty old wooden coasters, Jackrabbit, Racer, Thunderbolt, and then of course you have Steel Curtain and Phantom's Revenge. So like it kind of gets lost a little bit, but it seems like a pretty cool ride. Is it a CCI Woody? Yeah. Excalibur, yeah, it's a CCI Woody. The one at Funtown, not the one at like Valley Fair, whatever other ones there are that exist. Um, so, yeah, that's all my trivia. So that's all the questions I have. And in about, I think, yeah, 7 minutes, I'm going to end the stream for now. But before we do that, I just want to thank all of you for coming on here. This was kind of, I wanted to have more time to prepare, like have more questions, have like more things that like specifically for me to talk about because I know I'm pretty dependent on like what you guys are asking or what you guys want to talk about for these streams. I kind of wanted to get better at that, but there's a lot of work I had to do, schoolwork. So because my school district, we still have to turn in our work and we are still getting graded. But yeah, thank you guys for being on here. It seems like we've been losing a lot of CCI wooden coasters lately. Thankfully, the ones at Indiana Beach are saved. I know that's like the big deal. Like, I mean, yes, it's sad that Excalibur and maybe a few of these other rides are gonna close, but at least the Indiana Beach trio is gonna stay. So that's really nice. Here's a hard one. What two coasters at Cedar Point have the most inversions? Wait, why are you asking questions now? Any possibilities of any more B&M floorless coasters at all? When was the last one built? Hold on. um, I don't even know when the last one was built. I'm just gonna say no. Um, and I'm not counting conversions. Hot Wheels Nitro in 2013. Uh, Actually, you know what? I'm gonna say that maybe there'll be an Asian park that gets one because the last few have been the last one went to India and the one before that went to China in hair razors. So I could see it happening, but probably an Asian park would get it. Um, let's see. You love CCI. Yeah, I've only ridden one CCI wooden coaster and it was Ghost Rider and I rode it before the GCI retracking. Uh, I mean, I thought it was actually a pretty fun ride. I wasn't that much of a coaster enthusiast back then, but I thought it was pretty fun. Was it rough? Yes, but it was still pretty fun. Definitely a lot better now with the retracking, and of course, uh, like people pretty much like kind of consider it to be like the best TCI coaster. Hard to say because it's like it was retracked by GCI, so hard to tell if it like counts, but definitely even before the GCI treatment, I thought it was a pretty fun ride. Raptor at gate, Raptor and Gatekeeper with 6 inversions. Okay, so that would be the answer to the Cedar Point question that Matthew asked. Cornball Express is probably a top 20 coaster for me. Really? I mean, it looks like a really fun ride and all, and I've heard some people like really rave it, but I don't know. That seems kind of crazy, but who knows? I haven't ridden it, so maybe I'll like change my mind when I ride it. Just curious, do you prefer front row or back row on it? I just am curious because I do want to visit Indiana Beach at some point, and it might be possible because there are reasons for me to go to Indianapolis. So, yeah, let me know what's your favorite row on Cornball Express if you could. Last ground up floorless was Nitro. Yes, I mentioned that earlier. Nitro at a park in India. Dive and wing coasters are more popular rides amongst the general public, so if they're going to get a B&M, why would they get a floorless? Well, you did bring up a good point, but those coasters did exist. Those models did exist when the Indian park bought that one, so I think some parks might still go for it, especially like some parks in China, they already have a dive coaster. They may already have a wing coaster, so maybe they'll add it like just as another one. Uh, so yeah. Cornball Express and Who's Your Hurricane have buzz bars. Yep. My favorite row on Cornball is. Uh, okay, that's Matthew. Good question. Back row, the very back row, is absolutely crucial on Cornball. Second to last row is already stepped down in airtime levels. Has to be the last row. I mean, I always try to, even like, it's kind of weird. I always try to target, unless like for certain coasters where I've heard otherwise, front or back row, even on like kiddie coasters and things of that sort. I don't know why, but that's just how it is. Obviously, there's some exceptions. Magnum XL 200 and some other rides that have apparently other magic seats, I'll try to go for. And also, if it's an irrelevant coaster and the line's like really short for the middle row, I'll just go for it. But yeah. Swamp Fox is ridiculous with its buzz bars. Yeah, it looks really good. Uh, like I've heard really good things about it. Like that's probably like the best coaster in either of the Carolinas, outside of Carowinds, like the coasters there. Although I think I've heard some people say that Swamp Fox is better than Fury 325. Probably not. Family Kingdom is trash though. That's unfortunate. I mean, it is a smaller park I've never been. I would hope that it would be a nicer kind of place, but I guess not. Like some of these smaller parks, most of them seem to be nicer, but I know some of them are not so much. Because I've seen some videos about some. It's like, yeah, they're not that great. All right. Any last questions or things to discuss? Because if nothing comes in the next 2 or 3 minutes, I'm gonna end the stream. So, because I'm gonna end it soon anyways. So yeah, you've been wanting to ride Swamp Fox for so long. It's a glorified fairground. Okay, yeah, I don't really like the feels of fairs. I haven't even ridden a coaster at a fair, but I've been to a few. Like, I don't really ride the rides, but I've been to a few. Very long time ago, but yeah. Wasn't Lost Coaster the last CCI built? It was the most recent one, yes, and yes, the last one. Shrimpers Rides is Boomerang Reverse's favorite park. If that Shrimpers Rides, that's the one in Maryland. Doesn't seem like that great of a park from what I've seen, but we'll see. Will GCI branch out to all steel coasters? Oh, do you think they'll go to steel coasters? I doubt it. I think their wooden coasters will always have a place. So, and there's like still like at least one that gets built every year. It seems like maybe two. So, I think they'll still be around. The wooden coasters that GCI builds, like they'll still be doing them. Did I just pronounce how do you guys pronounce it? Maryland? That's how I pronounce it Maryland. Yep, that's how I do it. Yep, that's how I say it. I mean, I'm in California. I have been to Maryland before. I've been to the National Aquarium in Baltimore. I was in Baltimore for a little over a day, so I have been there. That's just how I pronounce it. I've enjoyed the Maryland. Okay, that's how you guys say it. Maryland. Maryland, yeah, I've heard that. Maryland. Okay. Oh no. Now we're gonna have a bunch of arguments. Okay. Alrighty. Alright guys, so I'm gonna end the stream just about now. Thank you all for watching. And I'm gonna try to do one next week. I think I'll be a little more free of my schoolwork, so it should be good. But yeah. So thank you guys all for watching, and I'll see you all guys next time here on Coaster Hour.